Good evening everyone, welcome back to Tom Plays Factorio for absolute beginners. Thinking of starting by trying to upgrade these things. Let's see. And then we're probably going to head north, but let's just start getting this iron delivered a little faster. Okay, that's not so bad, because it already was partially done. There. So now it looks like our problem is just not enough iron. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, looks like we have a request in for that, that's good. Need to restore a couple of these. I think that's fine. I think these are off to repair something. Is something being attacked over here? See, we're low on coal again. But we are planning to head up there anyway. Oh yeah. Okay, so not so much a repair as just replacing mines. So that's probably fine. Okay, brilliant. Looks like we have a stuck train. Yes, let's just set you off on your next pickup so we can get some stone offloaded, which we are going to need for the railways. And how are you doing? Not bad. Okay, well let's send you off because I'm worried about the new one we got operational, the copper mine south. Okay, brilliant. Let's actually head north. Might just check these iron mines while we're heading up there. We just lost the one. Seeing as we're struggling a little for iron, now the steelworks are upgraded, we may as well. Yeah, there's my little tank. Haven't used that other buggy for ages. Alright, interesting. There's not a lot there, but that means they recently did a drop-off into artillery nuclear. So let's grab the coal train, because we desperately need coal anyway. And I also want to check that first. I'm not going to sit around waiting though. I'll write it back and then send it back here to drop off. Yeah, I'm guessing at least one of the mines must have run out. If it hasn't, then we're going to need to upgrade somehow. Okay, well that's worrying. Upgrade it is then, I guess. Doesn't mean we're going to end up using this entire mine up if we're not careful. It is quite unusual for me to only have one coal mine, to be fair. If it weren't so close to the end, I would be looking at making another. As it is, let's just up this production by 50% and hopefully that will do the trick. Just do repairs. Yeah, there's still some spare artillery here, so that one's still fully operational, which is good. I don't need to rush. Yeah, we're good. I was going to send you back, wasn't I? Never mind, I suppose I can get a lift part way. Oh yeah, that's a much more respectable number of artillery shells. I think we should be able to get this operational. No problem. Looks like there wasn't even that far to go. Only needed 3 shots. Alright, is that it? That's almost disappointing. Right, okay, so this one's operational now. So we've got a full... From the water here, we're pretty much covered across this entire gap between waters. So that's pretty good. So I'll think about it. How are we doing for power? Did have quite a serious dip at one point. Might be worth building another power station. Just check these. At least for artillery, if nothing else. Not artillery. Ammunition. Although I'm going to check the artillery up here as well, just in case it's had a major drop-off. If it hasn't, I will probably just leave it. Honestly, probably seems odd, but yeah, I think I might still leave that one to fill up a bit further. I just feel like it's going to need quite a lot of shells to deal with all of these bases, and the fact is it just hasn't been attacked, which almost makes the artillery unnecessary. So until it is, I kind of feel like I might as well just accumulate more and more shells. A little bit of damage back there that I didn't notice at the time. I think generally though, we're looking pretty good in the north. Okay, so now our problem is once again insufficient iron. Awesome. Right, let's see where the iron train is. If I worry about anything else, right, it's down there. Possibly it's stuck. So let's just bring it back and then I will ride it back down there. And we'll have a good check on those furthest iron mines. Might check others as well, but let's start with them because it happens to be sat there, which does kind of imply that maybe that's the problem. That's alright. Just take me back. I'm not sure what it was trying to re-equip me with there. Hopefully nothing too urgent. Probably just drones and things. So you think this rocket silo takes a while to build? You should try, research. You should try researching the nuclear weapon. Takes forever. Okay, right. So you head off to drop things off, and I will sort this place out. Yep, this is definitely in desperate need of some work. Promise technically there's a little bit there that I want to get. I might have picked it up anyway, but this is why it's run out, of course, because I've been happily trying to mop up every last scrap. Still, I don't see that as a problem particularly. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So technically you're going in the wrong direction, but I don't think it matters that much. Oh yeah, this place has its own robot port, doesn't it? Yeah, have some repair packs. Anything else you need? How about mines? Have some mines. Always good to keep you well equipped. Let's probably load you up with some ammunition as well. It looks like you've got plenty anyway. Okay. Right. Next line, I guess. There we go. So in theory, that should be looking good for a while now. Right, I don't really want to disrupt the iron trains, so I head to the nearest copper place and disrupt that instead. So I'm fairly sure all of our copper mines are overloaded now. Obviously it's not going to stop me from keeping them as operational as possible though. There, right. What are we? Far southwest. Just thinking then, I don't think a base can survive there. It's getting attacked from both sides. Not the best place to build a base, I'm afraid. You're very much in our a zone of destruction here. And particularly had a look for resources on the map. I just spotted that fuel in the corner. Oil, I should say. Although I don't think that's something we're particularly struggling for. How's the iron train looking? Oh, it's moving around. Yeah, doesn't look bad. Anything major that we're lacking? And drop off some more wood. Oh, we're lacking coal. Okay. Now, I think I can see the coal train there, so hopefully it's on its way down. Okay, fair enough. Not a huge amount I can do to speed that up. I can just check the iron mines over here. They are as they were, pretty much. Also, they're being slowed down because of a lack of coal. So we don't have any coal coming down here. Which is definitely a problem. So speaking of looking at resources, what about coal? Just see what had revealed, because coal's quite common as a rule. So we shouldn't have too many problems getting some more if we wanted to. There's one right next to Iron Mine West there. So we could potentially expand that. There's also some here, which we've already got something we could use to go there. There's definitely plenty of it about. Maybe we should go for that one. Have to make our way through the trees a bit, but well, this one, because we already have a base, so we could sort of combine them. Would obviously be a bit of a nuisance. Right, well, with that in mind, if we're thinking of expanding, let's actually look at building another nuclear power station. So we don't need a centrifuge. We need this, a nuclear reactor. So the main thing we're missing is 500 concrete. We obviously need a ton of other things. But that's the thing that won't be replenished automatically. Okay. Then we need advanced circuits. Steel. Maybe I should just dump some of that wood in these while I'm thinking about it, because I do seem to have rather a lot of it knocking around but I don't need any more. Might just get it burning while the coal catches up. Oh, hang on. Looks like the coal is catching up. Alright, well, let me take that out and stick wood in. And I'll add this coal to here. Not sure how long the wood will keep going for, but it might give it a chance to accumulate a little bit now. Oh, that's a point, because none of it's reaching this either, is it? So we're not making any grenades. I might eventually run out of my wonderful cluster grenades. That would be a tragedy. Okay, so the only other thing we needed was copper, which we are not exactly lacking in. And now we can build a nuclear reactor. So apart from that, we're presumably going to need a few of these. I suppose ideally we'd also want more steam turbines and heat exchangers, because otherwise we wouldn't actually be producing any more actual power. So if we make one more heat exchanger, three more turbines. Can't remember how many we actually use. Probably more than 3. Let's go for 4. Nothing else we're low on? Okay. Not too bad then. Just want to make sure we're doing okay for copper and steel before heading up there, so that way we can make new things as needed. I think the steel container may be a bit depleted, unfortunately, so I may just have to live with it and head up there. Okay, well, at least the coal's looking a little bit more respectable now, and at least we found a use for some of that wood. So the idea is that because these depend on heat and maintaining heat, if you put two of them next to each other, they warm each other up. So it makes everything a lot more efficient. Now why is that not working? Oh, because there's my fault. I put the heat pump in the wrong place. The heat pipe. Should have put it there. There we go. So depleted ones need to go onto there again. And I want the fuel to come in here. So this should start heating up now, so it's already got a bit of a head start. Let's get the new heat exchanger down. So I think I need one gap with a pipe. And then 4 steam turbines. I think that should do. So we should find that these dips become, well, non-existent, honestly. So, if you remember, these are the accumulators, the batteries being used when it's nighttime and there's no solar power. So we're depending entirely on nuclear power. So some of these have got a little bit low. So now we've got a... Well, it's not technically so much even the station, because really it's these 4 extra turbines. But I would expect those dips to disappear now, or at least become much more shallow. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, these will, in theory, be a bit more efficient now. They'll be heating each other up. We're obviously using twice as much nuclear fuel now, so we will need to keep an eye on that. It's odd, I wonder why there's no iron going in. Target full. Okay, well let's not worry unless this starts getting depleted. I'm sure we're fine. Okay. So there we go, more nuclear power. Right, let's just think again, because it would be a lot easier to do a northern coal mine simply because we've already got the infrastructure in place. However, there aren't any really great candidates for it. Everything's quite a way away, so maybe a southern one would be a better option anyway. So one of these two. This one's bigger, of course. And it will be more of an extension of the main base. On the other hand, this one... I think I might go for this one. Okay. Going to be a bit of a nuisance, although I suppose we could use drones for the transportation. Can't say I'm tremendously keen. Oh, well, I remember. How are these doing? Still got lots of wood. They're actually out of iron now. Okay, fair enough. Anything I'm missing? Nothing major, I don't think, although I am going to need some railways. Probably an enormous amount of railways, honestly. So maybe we should grab those. There you go, the future is wood. Whoever would have thought it? I wonder why we're out of iron now. He's not gone and died again, have they? Nope, I'm just used to it being clogged up, I guess. Okay, guess that's fine. What have we got? Well, we've got a nice big base that needs destroying. Grief, those guys can fire a long way. Oh, it's actually my fault for not taking full advantage of the range. The range on these rockets is actually longer than what I'm using. You know, I could probably just go in now. So I could knock this down a little while I've got the drones out. To keep a bit of an eye on them running out of time, but generally I think we're fine. Oh, didn't see that one. Okay, so that should give us a fair amount of some leeway, I guess. Okay, let's cut this off here because I want to work out how best to connect these up. It's hard to imagine that we're not going to end up cutting some trees down, but can maybe take this one around at least. Oops. I really did not expect to be setting up a new mine at this point. Well, there you go. We have another bottleneck, and this time the bottleneck is coal. Right. Looks like I might have overdone the railways as well. So could we maybe go around the other way? Go through here? It's reasonably sparsely populated, I think. Definitely take this one down because it's dead. Darn. Get out of the way then. Honestly. Right. Okay. I was sort of thinking about that uranium mine as well, potentially. I know we're not going to be playing much longer, but just force of habit, I guess. Right, so... Two, three, four, five. Is that wrong? That feels wrong. Yeah, it should be there. And once again, I have completely forgotten to bring any power lines up, which is incredibly helpful. Right, so... So if I put a box here, say, this would probably be a good place to put my power thing. I'm going to do this. I might head straight down just because I know there's going to be a wall here, so it shouldn't interfere with anything. So even though in some ways it makes more sense to connect directly to the main base, I'm just thinking oh wow. Oh no, we're good. Let's not be too close to the railway lines. Not that it actually matters very much, really. That's fine. And should give us power. It would of course help if I'd left a bit of room for things to unload. Okay, that's never good. Lost a turret somewhere. Oh, it's Copper Mines Southwest again. That's always a popular place for losing turrets. Right, well, once again, I will worry about that in a bit. Let's get this kind of operational first, if we can. So this does go back a fair way. I've probably left myself far more space than I needed, actually. Still, never mind. Still doing this the slow way. Feel like we're definitely not going to have enough ammunition. They're probably not enough of a lot of things, actually. Which is fine, we can just head back and get some. Let's just at least get this well on its way. Right, so assume we're not going to do the uranium, we'll just come around here and we should be fine. So we probably only need a couple more. of the turrets. Could in theory have gone all the way to the sea, but there just doesn't seem to be any real need. Lake, I should say. Let's grab the faster one. Make sure everything has power. And we'll unleash this. Yeah, not bad at least. So we actually need a bunch of mines. Don't need any electric furnaces this time. Of course we are going to have to set up the infrastructure at the base, so that'll be another thing. Alright, so with that in mind, let's just nip back into the base, since it isn't actually that far away. I guess we may ultimately have to use the 4th copper train. The 4th railway line as a copper drop-off, maybe? I don't really want to interfere with the iron. So I guess, yeah. What's this going to be then? Coal drop off southwest. Yeah, so hopefully that will stop it from running into too many problems. Let's put filters on the first ones So they will only accept coal. No need to bother the others, I don't think. Might help if things are running in the right direction. So even though there's places that need coal down here anyway, I'm kind of thinking I might just try and run this back to the usual coal source. I forget how short these things are. Could use the faster one just for the extra range, but I can't imagine we're going to need the speed particularly. All right. Oh well, we're not going to be expanding these again, so I shall not worry about them. On the plus side, it does mean in theory we could try to follow the coal all the way back to the source. Well, anyway, while I'm at it, let's grab some more ammunition. As much as we can get. Let's dump a load of railways. Oh, okay. Guess I can't dump anymore. Right, fine. And there's a few things we need to remake, aren't there? What are we lacking here? Oh, gear wheels. I see. Usually try and have 20, don't I? Okay, yeah, that's a bit more like it. Hopefully I haven't left myself with any spare bits knocking around. Nothing major at least, could do with dropping off this stone. There's So I drop the wood and the coal into one of those furnaces now, although actually it looks like we're fully coaled up, ironically. Given that's the main problem we're currently trying to solve. There. Spare railways dealt with. Okay, oh, and we're also going to need mines, of course. Let's do 6. Now I do want to check on that destroyed item in Copper Mine Southwest. And that will allow some of his stone to be dropped off. I'm just wondering whether I've got time to get the new coal mine operational. Yeah, they're getting quite eager at attacking that copper mine now. I feel like we're going to need to think about the defences here a bit. I could stick some lasers down if nothing else. Make life a little bit more difficult for them. I probably already said this, but there's no actual need to orient the turrets. I could have them pointing the wrong way, it's fine. I just like sticking them pointing the way I expect them to fire. Oh, we did already have a few laser turrets then. They'll turn around as needed and they'll stay facing whichever direction they last fired in. So it's definitely not a major concern. Right. Okay, we'll jump off the train part way home. Perfect. Let's see if we can just get this running. As I think I probably said, hypothetically, if we were doing this for much longer, we would probably look to incorporate that uranium area, like get a mine going for that as well. But we're not going to need it before we launch a rocket. So let's just treat this coal mine as a one-off. Alright. These still look like this. Okay. Oh, what on earth I was thinking putting that there. Okay, just unleash this. And let's see if we can get this finished and up and running. Chance of being attacked from this side are pretty much zero. Well, I'm going to put the defence in anyway, just for completeness, and because you never know. Okay. So now we just finish off the last little bit. I suppose in theory I could leave these massive rocks intact and use them as part of the defences. Not going to though. Oh, that's where I got that coal from. I did wonder. Of course you sometimes get it when you hack up these random stones. There's something I didn't do. Traffic lights. I wonder if there's chaos being caused back at the base because I didn't set up any traffic lights around the new railway stop. Hopefully not. But we'll see. So actually we probably want to do it like this. Let's get this all circulating. Put a fast inserter in. Right. Alright, of course, yeah, we're going this way, aren't we? Right, so let's go reasonably far to the left, just in case we want to do uranium later. Are we in a hurry to load this up? I kind of feel like I'd rather it spend lots of time here, so I might actually load it up slowly for now. And actually it's just going to be a straight pile of coal just going to the exit, isn't it? So that leaves room for later. I'll just load all of these up. And I'll realise that I've run out of productivity modules. Yeah, maybe I should actually leave it there for now. Technically we do have a coal mine working now. There it is, it's mining. Still need to set up the train. Oh, good grief. Almost forgot the lights here as well. I want to set up traffic lights at the base, so I'm concerned that might be causing problems. But yeah, loosely we now have a copper mine operational, which I need to give a name to. So that can be, not copper mine, coal mine southwest. Okay, brilliant. Just going to leave it there for today because I've gone a bit over. Quite a bit over. So, good grief, what did we even do? Okay, so we were looking at fixing Iron Mine a bit because Iron Mine really far was really running out of steam there. We've made a, well, we activated the artillery here. I don't think that was active before. We basically checked these artilleries anyway. Made sure they were all up and running. Added, I think, some more coal mines up at the north because we were seriously low on coal. And we made a new nuclear reactor to keep our power going. So in theory, yeah, we still do have dips actually. But they're not going anywhere near as low. So, yeah, we're good. To be fair, the increase in power probably isn't as big as you'd think, because really, functionally, all we did was add 4 more steam turbines. And I suppose the big thing of the nuclear reactor is we've set up a new coal mine southwest. We haven't put the infrastructure in for it yet, so we need to do that and set up a train. But technically, this is a functioning second coal mine. So this will hopefully solve our coal problems for good. So I'll leave it there. We've almost finished researching the rocket silo, so we will also be dealing with that next time. Could even be the final episode, but I'd imagine there's some building to do before we get there. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.